Come by. He said, "You ready?" I said, "They're being robbed." He said, "What?" I said, "They're being robbed." He said, "They're being robbed." And when he said, the lady behind us said, "What? They're being robbed." Everybody in the restaurant, ah! They're running, hey, being robbed. They running. And I'm still walking like I was instructed. I'm walking slowly on my way to the door. People, he jump up, he run past me. You better come on, and he run on out the door. And I'm still walking, and by this time I can hear the gunman. It's just as I put my. Hey y'all, this is Charlotte Urban Gardner here. I know this is after hours, so I decided after hours when it's late in the evening and we're no longer doing gardening chores, I think I'm being led to have conversations that doesn't pertain to gardening and just everyday conversation. So I don't know if I want to call it coffee tea with me or I don't know. But anyway, let's get started. So, Thursday. So, what happened last Thursday had me thinking about what happened many years ago, and I want to start with that story first. I had a friend, and he wanted to go to this particular restaurant, and so I didn't want to go. And he kept, "Oh, come on, I want to go get something to eat, blah, blah." I said, "Okay, I'll go." And we went, and we were sitting there, eating, and it wasn't a fancy restaurant. It was just one of those, franchise restaurants. And we were eating, and I just didn't, just wasn't feeling the food, because I shouldn't have been there. Didn't follow the Holy Spirit. I wasn't feeling the food. And so I just said, I'll just get my stuff to go in the to go box. Now he had, eaten his food and everything. And I was just like, I'll get my a box for my food. And I'll get an extra honey mustard as well to go. So I'll eat it later. Just as I was getting up to go to the counter, he started talking to a lady behind us. And it's a lady that I recognize as well too. I didn't know her name, but I recognized her from different places. And so, he's talking to her. That's one of his neighbors. And so I go to the counter. And as I go to the counter, and I said, "Hey, can I have a honey mustard to go?" And as I'm standing there, I look straight ahead. And you know how they have one of those windows where they put the food up there on the window and the cook's back there set the food on the window? Well, the cook had his hands on both hands on the window. And I looked at him and he kind of nodded his head like, "Yeah, this is it. We being robbed." And right in front of me, a guy comes out to the cashier, the girl that I was asking for the honey mustard, asking her to give me a honey mustard. He comes up. He has like a cap, like a stocking cap, like almost thing pulled down all the way to like his top lip. It didn't come all the way down. I guess one of those things that the men wear, but he had it in front of his, tried to have it in front of his face. But anyway, so she tries to open the register, but she's upset and she can't get the register open. And he's got a gun. And this is, I could tell you the gun was shiny. It was like a 9 millimeter, not three, a 9 millimeter gun. It was shiny. And he was telling her, "Open it." And she was like pushing the button and the button beep because she was pushing the wrong button and she was scared and she was, you know. And I'm standing right there in front, y'all, dead center, right in front while this going on. And the Holy Spirit just said, "Back up and slowly walk away." And I backed up. I turned to the right and I walked slowly away over there in the direction where the guy and my purse was. I grabbed my purse as I was walking by. He said, "You ready?" I said, "They're being robbed." He said, "What?" I said, "They're being robbed." He said, "They're being robbed." And when he said, the lady behind him said, "What? They're being robbed." Everybody in the restaurant, ah! They're running, hey, being robbed. They running. And I'm still walking like I was instructed. I'm walking slowly on my way to the door. People, he jump up, he run past me. You better come on, and he run on out the door. And I'm still walking, and by this time I can hear the gunman. It's just as I put my right foot on the door threshold, the the metal plate on the bottom of the door to walk out of the door is when I hear the banging, the noise, where he's like begin to get frustrated because she can't get the drawer open. The guy's going off because she's not opening the register and she's afraid. And I was able to walk on out the door and to the car. And I'm telling you guys, if I had followed the prompting of the Holy Spirit, I wouldn't even have been in that situation. I didn't even want to go. I said I didn't want to go, but I allowed this person to talk me into going. Even though I felt I don't really want to go. I just didn't want to go there. I just didn't want to go. And I didn't follow the prompting. That first that we think is that first is that gut feeling, like I shouldn't do this. I shouldn't go. I shouldn't. Uh, that's the Holy Spirit. That's God prompting you, telling you, trying to lead you and guide you if you let Him lead, if you let Him guide you. But there again, God is merciful. Even though I was in a place that I shouldn't have been, there He protected me. I didn't get hurt. I didn't get. That guy could have shot me. I was right there. I mean, y'all, I could have stuck my hand out and touched him. That's how close he was, and I was, and the gun was. I was close enough. I could tell you the roundness of his teeth, the smoothness of his chin. He wasn't even old enough to start shaving yet. I could have touched him, but it's like he didn't even see me. Like he didn't even see me standing there. I can't explain it, but I just say, hey, just like God blinded those people who was at Lot's door, those wicked and evil people that want to do wicked and evil things to the messengers that God has sent to save Lot and his family. God blinded those men that was at the door. So I don't know if God blinded this guy. He couldn't see me, but it was just God. That's all I can say. Nothing but God. God is truly amazing. So what happened to this guy? He ran out the restaurant without me, before me. It was clear that he wasn't a protector of me, so there was no need for us to go out again. It was that was evident. So this brings me to what happened last week. Thursday, I was going into the Dollar Tree and I was on the phone with my middle son. And so as I'm talking to him on the phone, I'm going into Dollar Tree, and I noticed that a car with two males and one female on the passenger side, they pulled up in front of the store in the emergency lane. They didn't park in the parking spot. They just pulled right in front of the door, and everybody jumped out. And I said out loud, "Hmm, that's strange." Because normally, if people park in the emergency lane, they leave somebody in the car just in case they got to move the car. But anyway, so as I'm going in, it just kind of dropped in my spirit, like, something's not right with this situation. But I didn't dwell on it. I just kept going on and, still in a conversation with my son on the phone. And as I got to the door, one of the young men held the door for me, and I said thank you. And I felt kind of like, okay, maybe this is all right. I'm just tripping, or not really checking, doing like a spiritual check. And I just go on. I knew I wasn't going to be in there long. I only came in for a few things, and I end up getting like three things. And so as I'm going up to back to the checkout area, I noticed there was confusion. Some people, lady was loud. She's like, she's hollering, call the police, and then another a lady saying, yeah, I got the tag number. And so I didn't know what was going on because, like I said, I'm just walking up to the front, and then another cashier said, she was open, and so I dashed over to her and to get checked out. What's going on? And she said, one of them boys just robbed the old lady, snatched her purse. And I said, wow. She said, yeah, they got the tag number, and they parked right out there, right out front. And I was thinking, like, wow, I just got that check in my spirit that something's not right. I shouldn't have went into the store, but God, merciful, even though we're clueless at times or ignore the cues, that young man turned around and held the door for me. And I had my purse too. But I had started carrying this purse where you gotta put it over your head and your shoulder. And it's small instead of my big purse, carrying a large purse. I started carrying a little small something lately. And yeah, he held the door for me. I just thank God, that I wasn't his victim, that I definitely am divinely protected, and God just continued to cover me. And I'm not saying that I'm glad it was her and not me. I'm not saying that at all. I do feel compassion for the lady that purse was snatched and her things were taken. And I did pray for her. I'm thinking about the young men. The enemy, Satan, has a way of making you feel that you got away with that. You're not going to get caught. Or just because you don't get caught this time doesn't mean you won't get caught next time. The price to pay for that is outweigh what you got that day. Let's say the lady did have, I'm gonna say let's say she has $500 and you go to jail or prison for 90 days, 6 months. Are you willing to work a job for 90 straight days and earn only $300 or $500 or $1,000 for 90 days? And that's exactly what that's equivalent to if you get caught. When you get caught, you're going to lay it down for 90 days. You're going to be what I call a modern day slave for 90 days, 6 months, whatever it is, depending on if you don't have any prior charges. And you young people want to talk on your phone all hours of night. You don't get to talk on the phone except for 15 minutes. And oh yeah, you only get to talk on the phone if somebody putting money on your books is on the outside. And you get 15 minutes at best. And then you go back into rotation for the phone again. That's if you still have any money on your books. Make better choices, y'all, because this can affect your mind, body, and soul. Here's to better health, y'all. Hey, y'all, this is Charlotte Urban Gardner here. I know this is after hours, so I decided after hours when it's late in the evening and we're no longer doing gardening chores, I think I'm being led to have conversations that doesn't pertain to gardening and just everyday conversation. So I don't know if I want to call it coffee tea with me or I don't know. But anyway, let's get started.